Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of my wonderful and juicy and delicious little subscribers out there. And how I love you all so, my delicious little babies. 3, 2, 1, beam me up, my juicy little lads. They're so juicy and delicious, thank you, little lads. Now then, oh, they are super duper bright, aren't they? I'm loving this today, my delicious babies. Now then, I hope that you're all super duper well wherever you are in the world, my delicious little babies, and that life is treating you oh so deliciously wherever you are. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening to any passers-by, okay? Sorry, I'm just stroking my beautiful little ribs who've just come in about 5 minutes ago. So I hope that you too, much love to you as well, are having a super duper time wherever you are in the world, okay? So what it is, I'm just going to explain what the weather's like because it probably looks just a little bit dark in here today. Well, you know, in my neck of the woods in the old UK, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, everybody. It is very dreary, very cold. There's still some frost, although it's gone more damp now. But this morning, believe it or not, my delicious little babies, it was snowing. Only like very light. So we don't know, you know, what it's going to be like later. I mean, it might decide to get a bit colder later. We don't know yet, do we? Because it's, I mean, to be honest, it's what the old Zazum decides, isn't it, really? Yes? Anyway, so yeah, what it is, my delicious babies, I'm going to try my hardest not to make this a long video, okay? I'm really going to try, my delicious little babies. I really, really am, you know. But there were just a few things on my mind that I just wanted to talk about. And, well, number one, right, because there's a number of things actually. Surprise, surprise, okay? Well, number one, I was listening to, you know, to do with the oil, because I mean, you know, my mind's just been tick, 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 you know, the past few days, and I've been thinking about this, thinking about that, you know. And I don't know whether any of you would have heard, so I'll go back to that in a moment, everybody, my delicious little babies. I feel, was it back in 2012? I could be wrong, everybody. So please, if you do happen to enjoy my video, because I keep forgetting, you do happen to like it, if you could please click on the like. For others of you who happen to stumble across me, you do enjoy my videos, so you could please click on the subscribe. For others of you, please feel free to comment. And finally, if you'd like to share my video with others, then please feel free to do that as well. Please and thank you. Now, I mean, I don't know whether you all remember this, my delicious little babies. For those of you, you will, and for those others, they will not, okay? But I don't know if it was 2012, but they said that the world was going to end. Well, I mean, I don't know about you, my delicious little babies, but, well, the world hasn't ended, has it? It's like, okay, let me try and put this in another way without talking in riddles. Like, if we look over the decades, yes, like, they'll say one thing's going to be happening. Like, I mean, was it 1 year? Because that's just come into me old noddle. 1 year where they was talking about, you know, there won't be enough trees, there won't be enough of this, there will not be enough of that. Do you see what I'm saying to you? But then, of course, you know, they're cutting trees down, which they have been, haven't they? But then, you know, especially in recent times. But then, you know, then they're regrowing other trees. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Yes? So then, of course, you know, everybody's like, oh, you know, with our green planet and everything else. Do you see what I'm saying? I know what I'm trying to, well, it's not what I'm trying, it's what I am getting across to you, my delicious little babies, yes? So the fact is, unless, you know, who runs the world, you know, their lackeys, unless they go around and cut every single tree, yes, and dig up every patch of grass on the planet, okay, my delicious little babies, well, the fact of the matter is, the common sense thing, hello, okay, is that we're always going to have trees, we're always going to have grass, we're always going to have flowers. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? Yes? And of course, sorry, please excuse me, you know, we all need these things, you know, so that we can flourish. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Yes? So when you look at things over the decades, what they've said, yes? But I was listening to something this morning, okay? Because there's all sorts of different videos, you know, that come up on my feed, my delicious little babies, for those of you out there even kind enough to listen to me, so please and thank you. Well, you know, saying that oil was going to run out in 50 years. Well, how many times have we heard over the decades, my delicious little babies, all of the things that apparently, hello, are going to happen that have not happened? Do you see what I'm saying to you? Anyway, when I heard that, and I'm going to be honest with you, my delicious little babies, when I heard that, because I talk to the phone sometimes, you've heard me say on the videos, you know, and I go, you know, but I got absolutely nothing across my shoulders whatsoever, because I get what's called a confirmation, which means that my shoulders raise because I go cold across my shoulders, okay? And I'm going to be honest with you, my delicious little babies, when I heard that, I thought to myself, in my old noddle, you know, and then I actually spoke out loud. I said, no, you won't. Do you see what I mean? So I got nothing across my shoulders telling me. Now, when I look at the age that I am now, my delicious little babies, so I'm 49 years of age, which I'm sure that for my beautiful little subscribers and how I love you so, that you know how old I am, okay? Well, I mean, if we're looking at, what, another 50 years, do you see what I'm saying to you? Yes, what's that, 99, isn't it? Well, the fact of the matter is, I mean, the likelihood is that that I will not be here. Do you understand what I mean? Because we all have a, well, it's not what I like to call it. I suppose it's just a saying, isn't it? It's a figure of speech. But, you know, we all have a shelf life. You know, so some of us, sorry, excuse me, last quite a long time. And for others of us, well, we do not. You know, it's like when our time's up anyway. I'm not saying this to depress everybody, my delicious little babies. I'm just pointing out the flipping obvious things. Do you see what I'm saying to you? So the chances of me being around, you know, in another 50 years, you know, is between slim and none. Do you see what I mean? And of course, you know, because I've had my beautiful and delicious little daughters, how I love you so, okay? Because I've had them, of course it carries on. Do you understand what I mean? So I will live on, you know, in my daughters, you know, one way or another. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? Well, of course, that's what family's about, isn't it? You know, I mean, I'm not talking to any delicious, wonderful little babies out there, you know, who have had complications or struggles, you know, so please do forgive me. That was not meant to come out in, you know, in any other way, okay? I'm just saying that, you know, for the majority, that they'll usually have, you know, more and more. Do you understand what I mean? They'll give birth and then, you know, then comes in another generation, and, you know, if they're blessed to be here, then, you know, God bless them. Then, do you understand what I mean? And, you know, because I feel blessed, everybody, my delicious little babies, to get to my age. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my little lovelies? Yes? And please, dear God, Jesus Christ in Nazareth, touch wood. I've got plenty of wood here. You know, that I never have anything seriously wrong with me. Do you understand what I mean? This leads me on to saying, so there's always a method in my madness, what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies. So when we actually look at like families years ago, okay, so I do want to talk about this. It's been on my mind for the past few days, and yes, I am going to discuss it. Now, when we look at like decades ago, like I remember decades ago, okay, and I will not fib to you all, my delicious little babies. No, I will not, okay? I miss, you know, my beautiful dear Nana, beautiful dear granddad, a beautiful dear mum, you know, my beautiful dear friends, you know, that I've had over the years. And how I love you all so, and God bless you all. I've already said good morning to them all anyway, they know. And, you know, I miss them immensely. Do you understand what I mean? Because when I go back in time, okay, I'm just explaining something here. And for some of you delicious little babies out there, you may relate to what I'm saying here. That those were the days where, I mean, I do not put the box in the corner of the room on. Like I said, I haven't done it for years, okay? But what I'm talking about is that, you know, we never used to really watch the television programming. We never used to really watch it. Do you see what I'm saying to you? So what I'm saying to you is that, like, when you had like families, close friends, you know, who we've all known and loved, you know, over our years, and then sadly they've departed, you know. Well, I like to feel that they've gone into spirit, you know, and they're having a super duper delicious time myself, okay? Surely it could be better than what we're experiencing globally at the moment down here. But please God they are, and how I love them also. But what I'm saying is that those are the days where, you know, never really watched television, and what we used to do is either used to play board games, we used to tell jokes, we used to have a laugh, like for decades and decades. And even as a grown woman now, all of my delicious little babies out there, for all of you, I used to have what my beautiful dear Nana used to go, you know, she used to always say, and she used to call it, she used to say, come and have 5 minutes with your old Nan, you know, with your old Nana. Do you understand what I mean? So, you know, we used to cuddle each other, and we used to talk about different things, because I could talk to my beautiful dear Nana, you know, about anything. Do you understand what I mean? We were so super duper close, we were like that. Do you see? And I was really quite happy just to put my head on her chest, you know, and cuddle her, and she used to cuddle me. And I used to do that as a grown woman. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? So, you know, so those are the things that, you know, I will forever miss. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? Yes, you know, just those hugs and kisses, you know, from somebody who you love with all your heart. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Yes? But we used to have a lot of times like that, you know, where the old box in the corner of the room was not the main attraction. It's like it sat there doing nothing, everybody, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I mean? So, and those are the times as well where I never used to really watch films, never used to really do any of that. We just used to, the point I'm making, my delicious little babies, and I do go back to these times, especially the past few days, you know, just different things are just, you know, made my mind, do you understand what I mean, trigger certain things, you know, but in a positive way, in a good way, my delicious little babies. But what it is that we just used to enjoy each other's company. It wasn't like, I mean, it's like if you go back, say, I don't know, I'd probably say now in the past 20 years, yes? It's like you could go into anybody's home, yes? And 9 times out of 10, they got the old box in the corner of the room on. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Yes? And it's just a natural thing. Obviously, it's a natural thing for them. You know, I didn't mean obviously, you know, like that. I'm just, you know, explaining something. But, you know, and then of course it's like, oh, you know, what do you think about this on the TV, and, you know, and things like that. Do you see what I mean? Instead of having a proper conversation. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? Yes? It's just that, I mean, everybody's different. So I'm not saying about one, and no, I am not. I'm just talking about the things that I've noticed and seen over decades. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? It's like, okay, me personally, but I'm talking about myself personally now, okay? So I'm not speaking for anybody else, my delicious babies. I'm talking about myself. Well, it's like if anybody was to come and visit myself, yes? Well, of course, I mean, anyway, I haven't watched the box in the corner of the room for years. It's over there, okay? But what I'm saying to you is that the days where I did used to watch it, yes? Well, it's a rarity, if nothing, yes, that the TV would go off, because obviously whoever's come to visit me, I like to sit and have a conversation. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious babies? So the whole point of everything what I'm saying about this is that I just feel that there seems to be a lot less. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? It's like when I go walking my beautiful and delicious little Ruby Tuesday, because we're not long come in from a walk, and it has been rather cold out there, like I said. But then, you're walking along, aren't you, in your own little world. So anybody who's got delicious and beautiful, wonderful little animals will know this, yes? You're walking along, and of course you cannot help it, You look, as well as looking straight ahead, obviously, because otherwise you'll fall up, you'll fall over, won't you? But you look left and right, don't you? And it's like nearly every single home that you see, for the ones that are visible, that either have got no curtains or the blinds are open or something like that. And nearly every single one you see, they've got a box in the corner room. But the thing is, it's not even a small flipping box, it's flipping colossal. My delicious little babies, do you see what I mean? I mean, how large does a screen have to be? Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? And these are just some of the things that have, that I've been noticing. And I've noticed for years. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? Yes? It's like many moons ago, please let me have a sip of my coffee and thank you. Years ago, I used to, you used to be able to have an appliance, and it used to last for donkey's years. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? Yes? It used to last for flipping donkey's years. Yes? See, I'm all cold here. And now, when you get appliances, I keep, every so often I keep mentioning this because I feel the need to mention it, because I feel that this is what's led us into a flipping ditch. It's because, you see, what happens is that you'll buy these things, yes? Even down to mobile phones, everybody, my delicious little babies, yes? And it seems to be that the newer and newer that they're becoming, this is just my take on it. I mean, for others of my delicious little babies out there, or whoever happens to stumble across me, may see me as being wrong here, but I do not believe that I am. But if you look at old-fashioned telephones or old-fashioned phones, or even those little £20 phones that you can get, well, sorry, excuse me, correct me if I'm wrong, but it would take forever until they broke down. But like, you look at the newer appliances and the newer things, and I just do not feel, that's just my own personal take on it all, my delicious little babies, but I just do not feel that they last as long. It's like it's only a certain time, if you know what I mean. It's like laptops, isn't it? So laptops only have a certain, there we go, before I even say it, a certain shelf life. Whereas you could get, computers, from donkeys back. And I'm sure that if we was to go into, say, I don't know, an antiques dealer, or, whatever it is, whatever they call them, right, not being disrespectful, by the way, and you was to go in there and see the old-fashioned computers and everything, that they'd still be working. In fact, that's just reminded me of something. That's just coming to me old noddle. There was where was it now? It was in a haunted, where was it? I'm sure it was when I watched one of the videos with our lovely, not in that way everybody, Exploring with Fighters. I'm sure it was Exploring with Fighters, or I don't know. It might be another one. But my point is that there was a computer there, yes, a really, really super duper old-fashioned computer. My delicious little babies, yes, in fact there were two. And guess what? It was still flipping working. after all that flipping time, my delicious little babies, and we're going back flipping years and years and years, and the screen was not a colour one. It was, you know, the ones where you could get the green screens years ago. The Amstrad had them as well, where, you know, you had the greens, so you had the green writing and then it was a darker background. I'm sure that for some of you delicious little babies, especially if you're into the old, you know, computers and whatnot, that you would remember. Well, this flipping computer was still flipping going. Whereas you couldn't really say that, could you, about some of the modern things now? That's all I'm saying, my delicious little babies, yes? It's like, I mean, my first ever vacuum was, and it was a bagless, actually. It was a bagless one. And it was bought from me, you know, for me, sorry. And it was a Dyson. I always remember that, you know. Yes. So you see, what I'm saying to you is, my delicious little babies, yes? I mean, and that lasted flipping donkey's years. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? But it's just that, it just seems to me that a lot of things now, so correct me if I'm wrong here, my delicious little babies, but it seems like an awful lot, like you pay the ka-ching, pound, shilling, pence, dollars and change, but you're only getting a certain. And it's just like with the phones as well, my delicious little babies. Okay, this is just, I'm only saying my take, my thoughts and feelings on this. Yes, it's like, you know, and it's like they only have so much memory and, you know, they only have so much of this and so much of that. And then, do you understand what I mean? And somewhere down the line, they flipping crash. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? Yes? That's all I'm saying. That's just my feelings and thoughts on things. It's just, I just look to how things have changed, you know, and even with, you know, with others out there, you know, where, you know, many decades ago, and days, you know, years ago, used to hug each other. There we go, sir. You used to hug each other, used to, you know, stop and have a conversation. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? Yes? It's just that now, everything's always either, if somebody's waving to you in a car or, you know, they've never got time, oh, got to go this, got to do that, got to go to work, got to do this, you know. It's like, it's just like when I look around me, nobody seems to have any time for anything. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies, yes? So that was just my thoughts, you know. But when I went back, I mean, it's like families used to be families. Everything used to be so much more different then. In other words, there we go. See, I'm up so cold here. It's unreal. And my room is super duper warm, everybody, my delicious little babies, yes? And I'm very, very thankful, to have my heating. But what I'm saying to you is that, you know, one used to respect another. But now, I mean, you know, in my beautiful and delicious little friend Kaz was here. Oh, God bless her. Okay, she's so beautiful. You know, I love all of my beautiful dear friends. I love you also, my delicious babies. And we were discussing this, you know, when we came off camera. Oh, and by the way, my delicious little babies, all of you who, you know, even took the time to even watch our video and to click on the likes, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll be forever thankful and grateful to you all for that. Thank you. But, you know, and we were saying that the atmosphere's all different. Everything's different. There we go. Oh, I'm so cold here. I've been like it since I came on, you know, since I started talking about certain things. My delicious little babies, yes. So, you see, that's what I'm saying. There seems to be so many changes. And for those of us who see it, it's so blatantly obvious, yes. But for others, it's just like whatever our definition of normal. It's just like whatever is normal. And I honestly believe that a lot of them do not even realise, God bless them, that they've even changed. It's really hard for me to explain I would have to film it, and obviously I cannot do that because there are rather a lot who do not like to be filmed, and I understand that, yes? But it's just amazing how you see all of these changes in man and woman, and even more so, even in the young bairns, you know, the young children, because I call them bairns, but young children. It's like, the only way that I can explain it all, my delicious little babies, it's like a blanket of something. It's really, really hard for me to explain this, so I'm explaining it the best way I can, my delicious little babies, but that is really what's going on here. And for the ones who do have the odd laugh, do you see what I'm saying to you? These days, God bless them, it just seems to be very few and far between. It's almost as if nobody's got anything to be happy about. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? Yes? It's really hard for me to explain. And the ones who, but I know what I'm talking about, my delicious little babies. And it's like the ones which I've said before, and I say it again, got nothing against anybody who has had the jab, okay? No. But I've noticed over the months, there we go, before I even say this now, so many changes in their personalities. Yes. I really have, you know. And I feel so sorry. Because, I mean, in reality, how are we going to get this stuff out? Do you understand what I mean? Out to these poor man and woman out there. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? Yes, I mean, you can have, I did hear about one, I said a couple of months ago on one of my videos, you can have, what's it called, pinewood tea. I mean, that I suppose helped, I mean, I'm no doctor or nurse, neither would I want to be, by the way. Everybody knows my feelings and thoughts on things, my delicious little babies. But, you know, that's one of the things, you know. Then you've got those, like I said before, you've got those magneteers, you know, that you know, who are helping others out there. Do you understand what I mean? So, you know, so you got that going on as well. But yes, but I've seen so many changes. And the only thing that I can say, my delicious little babies, is that it is so very, very sad. There we go, before I even said it. Sad to see. That's all I can say. Really. Really sad, my delicious little babies. It's like now, out there, like, say, give it a couple of years ago, where I live on my road. Please just let me have another sip of coffee, please, and thank you. Couple of years ago, this road here, where I live, because it is super duper quiet, as you can hear, there's no noise, there's no nothing. Occasionally when you hear noise, it's either there's a van that's reversing, or you've got, you know, like we've had the gas men, you know, gas engineers, you know, this week just gone, you know, who have been outside, so there has been a bit of drilling and different things going on. So I apologise for any noise on my previous videos if you've heard that, so I'm awfully sorry about that, but it's just beyond my control. But a couple of years ago, there would have been a number of cars coming out. You would have been seeing so many man and woman walking about, and, you know, they would have had their little Christmas hats on, and, you know, you would have just seen them having a laugh and a joke with others as they're walking past, or walking their little animals, or whatever they're doing. But last year, this year, no. It is, I do not like these words, but, you know, it's only a figure of speech. My delicious little babies, it's as dead as a dodo. It's like there's no sign of life. I'm not joking, my delicious little babies. No sign of life at all. I mean, I went out walking with my beautiful and delicious little Ruby, and only seen one man all the way around walking. Whereas you get a couple of years ago, there we go, before I even say it again or repeat it again, it was never like this. Do you see what I mean? It's like when I go back to my days, you know, working in the offices and doing things like that, you know, and, you know, and we used to go and have Christmas parties and different things like that, you know, and go on the old pub crawl and everything like that. Do you understand what I mean? And just have fun. Well, it seems that those days, no. So we're going into a different, let's just say, chapter in our lives in the world. That's the best way for me to explain it. It's like a book, isn't it? You got a beginning, you got a middle, and then you surely got an end. So we're now going into a different chapter. Do you see? But yes, you know, a lot has changed. There's many who just do not seem to be the same, my delicious little babies, and it's just so sad. And then, of course, you, like I say, you've got the box in the corner of the room where the screen's just getting flipping more and more colossal by the flipping moment, by the minute, sorry. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Yes, so it means that nobody's in the house unless they're talking about the film or whatever it is they're watching, you know. They're just super glued to the flipping screens, my delicious little babies. I mean, please do not get me wrong here, sorry, but you live and let live, don't you? It's just that I remember my beautiful and wonderful little Nana. Oh, and again, how I love you so, dear Nana. I do, I love her so. But she used to do an awful lot of reading, And actually, so do my daddy, still does to this day. He does. You know, just books after books after books. Oh, that reminds me, actually. Reminds me of something. I was sent, I will not say who it's from, but I was sent just a short little video, my delicious little babies. It's not on YouTube, by the way. I know that for sure. And it was, do you remember our lovely Michael Jackson? My delicious little babies, for those of you out there. I'm sure that everybody knows our lovely Michael Jackson. I mean, I grew up with him, you know, with his music and everything. Do you see what I mean? I used to have his records on 45. You used to call them 33 and 45. Anyway, I know what I'm talking about. And I used to have his records, you know, some of his records. And this video is very interesting indeed, my delicious little babies, because it actually, you know, just showed a small clip of him actually saying that there's an awful lot of books in history where it's lies. And he was actually saying in this small clip that there needs to be changes. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? Yes? I cannot remember the books now, but offhand. But what I'm saying to you is he's saying that there's an awful lot, you go back in history, where the books are lying. And that's what he said. My delicious little babies, I'm only just, you know, explaining to you what I'd heard. Then there's another little video, and thank you to the delicious little baby who sent them to me, where it was actually showing water. I'm not too sure. Could it be in Africa? Could have been in Africa. It was somewhere, I do believe, could have been in Africa, yes. And it was showing, like, you know, like you imagine like a little twig, you know, like that. And it's like, you know, like a little, like that, like a little wavy twig. It's really hard to explain. What this dear gentleman did was he just dropped it in the water, my delicious little babies, yes. And what the whole point of this little clip of this video was, is that it was explaining, and they say that, you know, we do not get free energy, but when he dropped this little, you know, squiggly little twig into the water, well, it was like this. And even to the point with a tap, he switched the tap on, because it looked like it was outside to me, and he'd switched the tap on, and he just let go of this little, you know, twirly twig, yes, you know, well, wavy twig, and he just did that, and it just started going up, like that, my delicious little babies. It's really hard for me to explain, but because I'm no good as well, you know, with like all of this technology. I used to be at one time, my delicious babies, you'd never believe it, but I used to be really good. And, you know, like say, like with laptops or anything, you know, if there was an issue with it, or, you know, I'd sit there for flipping hours until I conquered it. Do you understand what I mean? So I got it flipping running again. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Which saved me the old ka-ching, pound, shilling, pence, dollars and change, you know. I'd sit there for hours until I flipping conquered it. Do you see what I mean? But obviously I do not have a qualification in, you know, in all that sort of thing. But what I'm saying to you is that I used to be very good at it, but And if I'd have been good at it now, I would be able to show you. Do you understand what I'm saying to you, my delicious babies? Never mind, one day, you know, somebody will show me how to do it all. But anyway, we live in hope. My delicious little babies. One day I'll be able to do it, but just not yet, okay? I'll just stick to the in front of the camera, my delicious little babies. But yes, that was showing about the energy, yes. So, when we're looking at this, I did a video months ago. Could have been, what was it? I don't know, about 7 months ago. And I was on about water. I was. I mean, obviously not this, because this is something recent that I've seen in the past couple of days. I was talking about water. Well, at that time, because I'd not long started on my channel, you know, I never really got any, in fact, I never got no views for that. Not one view, which was rather surprising, actually, because I was actually explaining to delicious little babies out there to get this special solution, you know, to clean your water. Do you see what I mean? So you got fresh water, but never got even any views for that. Not to worry, it's still there. It's still there on my, you know, videos, you know. So just, you know, it's just little things that, you know, when I feel the need to say something, I'll say it. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? Yes. Now, there is one last thing I want to talk about. Now, this is to do with myself, my wonderful and delicious little babies out there. Yes, and thank you for listening to me for this long, okay? It's just sometimes I do ramble on and I just say what I'm going to say and that's it. What's been on my mind? Now, I say this is a bit of a personal thing, but we do have to talk about these things. But I do like to keep my channel clean, my delicious little babies. So you will never hear me swear on here. Do you understand what I mean? You know, well, I do not believe I've ever swore on one of my videos. I do not believe I have. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Swearing, well, it's not a big issue, is it really? Do you understand what I mean? I mean, it's been around for how many flipping years? Anyway, so I'm not talking about that anyway. Anyway, I'm just going off on rambling on now, right? Let me get back to the matter in hand. So, what's been on my mind now? And it's been on my mind now for months. And I was never going to mention anything, my delicious babies, but today I'm going to mention it. Now, as you know, sometimes I do get, believe it or not, my delicious babies, I know you find it really hard to believe for some of you out there, my delicious and wonderful little babies that you are, but I do get embarrassed sometimes, you know. I never used to. You know, when I was younger, I never used to get embarrassed about anything, but these days, you know, somebody could say a certain thing to me and I'll go all flipping bright red. I wouldn't do that normally. Years ago, but anyway, oh, I don't know, must be getting older. Anyway, I'm not an old woman anyway. But, and I want to talk about this menopause business because I myself, my delicious little babies, for those of you who've been following my delicious, wonderful little subscribers, you'll know yourself that, well, I mean, I'm going through it myself, you know, and there's something that's been bothering me, my delicious little babies. Because I know that you're going to think I've lost the flipping plot here now, my delicious little babies, right? But something just keeps coming into my mind now. And I'm not so sure, right, that, you know, like when they say we have a menopause, it's really this, I'm trying my best to get, well, I'm not trying, I am getting it across the best way I can. I'm not so sure now, my delicious little babies, right, that, you know, like with the menopause and all that, yes, that, well, it's going to come across as really mad what I'm going to say, that this should really be happening to our bodies. It's really, really hard for me to explain what I'm saying. It's almost as if, you know, because if you look at like food, if you look at like water, you look at like everything, yes? Well, I mean, in the water and everything, right, which I did happen to mention, like I said, you know, on the previous video I did about 7 months ago. I'm sure it is. That, you know, what goes through the water, you know, the pipes and all that, yes, is all sorts of things like contraception pills and things like that. Well, I don't need anything like that, all my delicious little babies. Not that I'm being too personal, I'm just saying I do not. I'm celibate, I'm on my own. Do you see what I mean? So and anyway, I wouldn't put them in my system. That's just me. I just wouldn't. Do you understand what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? Too much information, keep your gob shut now, Mia, and just flipping proceed forward and say what you've got to say. So, my point is that something else must be doing this to our bodies as women. Yes? Because this has been on my mind for months. And I thought, why does it keep, creeping and coming back to the front of my mind? Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? I know what I'm saying. When you really spare a thought for what I'm saying for my wonderful and delicious lady subscribers out there, and any ladies who happen to pass by my videos, okay? I know what I'm saying. So I'm not feeling that this is a natural process for a woman. And I know it sounds really mad what I'm saying to my delicious little babies, but I'm feeling something, there we go, before I even say it, something's not quite right. And anyway, that's how I just wanted to end the video. So, I don't know, just something, it's really hard for me to explain what I mean. But I'm not feeling that this is natural. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? Yes? Anyway, that was just one last thing anyway. So I just thought I'd run that by you, my delicious little babies. It's just, it's just something that's been in my mind for months for whatever reason. There we are, whatever reason. I just wanted to end my video with now to you all, my delicious little babies. I just want to give you all food for thought again, me with my food for thought, yes? Like where, the ones ruling the world, and their lackeys, wanted to, continuously, it's like they want us to just eat flipping junk food crap, and I'm just getting really peed off, actually, my delicious little babies, and that's not swearing, is it? Seeing these flipping Just Eat going around in their flipping orange uniforms. They're just a nightmare to look at, my delicious little babies, and I just get so flipping irritated every single time I see them. I mean, why are man and woman out there? I'm not talking about everybody. No, I am not. But I'm just saying that there needs to be far more cooking and eating wholesome food. That's all I'm saying. Okay, my delicious little babies? There's no harm in having a treat. There's no harm in that. But not to the amount of time, sorry, that I flipping see these. It's flipping gone beyond a flipping joke. Anyway, so you know what I'm like. I do have a moan, my delicious little baby, sorry. Anyway, so they're quick to sort of tell us what to eat, what to drink, what to do, everything else, yes? Now, what happened a few days ago, my delicious little babies, is that I had this craving, and it was a real craving. And no, there's nothing wrong with my delicious babies. You just heard me earlier and on previous videos, I'm celibate. But I had this craving that my body was telling me to have a pomegranate, one of the pomegranates, yes? Now, I used to have a lot of them years ago, pomegranates, yes? But it's like I was craving it, like my body's telling me to have a pomegranate. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? Anyway, well, as it turned out, my wonderful and lovely, delicious little friend Cass, she come and brought me two, rather large ones actually. And so I had half one yesterday evening. I shall have my other half shortly after when I finish my video, okay? Well, the point that I'm making is that I'm not talking about every single man and woman out there. No, I am not. But what I'm saying is, why don't man and woman, for some delicious babies out there, not all delicious babies, why don't they start to do a lot more meditation? Do you see what I'm saying to you? Yes, because you see, with me, and I've been like this for years, my delicious little babies, right? Because the reason why I say this is because I can walk into a store, could be anywhere, right? Could be anywhere, right? And I could walk into any shop and it's not myself, it's my dear, beautiful spirit guides and how I love them so. How I love you so, my dear, beautiful baby spirit guides, right? And they will direct me to where I need to go to get what I need, which is good for my body. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? I know it's really hard for some of you to take in. Not saying that you're unintelligent. I do not mean it that way. What I'm saying is that it's what my body needs. Do you see what I'm saying to you? It's like before I came on the camera today, yes, because I had loads of flipping vegetables yesterday and my spuds and everything and fish, yes. But what I'm saying to you is before I came on the camera, I thought, you know what? So I had a banana, my delicious little babies. I mean, I'm not talking about, I'm just pointing, explaining something, pointing something out here. So I had a banana and something just said, have an egg on toast. So I had an egg on toast and I had a banana. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? Yes. And then, of course, later on I'll have my evening meal, although I will not have it too late because you have it too late and, it puts on the old... pound. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies, and I'm trying to make sure that my weight, as well as going through this so-called menopause, which again, I'll repeat again, I'm not too sure about this, okay? I need to look far more into this. So I've got to try and keep my old weight down somehow. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? Yes, because it can go up and down, especially with what I've got. But the fact of the matter is this, so I thought, well, okay, food is fuel, I'll just eat that just for now, then I'm going to have, because, I do try my best, my delicious little babies, yes, to have my vegetables at least 5 days a week, okay, and even if you have tomatoes, cucumber and salad, onion, whatever you have, yes, so I do my best to do that. Do you understand what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? Yes, so what I'm saying is, what I'm asking is, for those delicious little babies out there, please try and connect with your dear spirit guides, because we all have spirit guides, a beautiful baby spirit guide, yes? And they can help you. So if you need to be getting a certain nourishment, into your body, then there we go, then they can help you to do that. I know it sounds really mad what I'm saying, my delicious babies, but it's actually not mad at all. I mean, it's like yesterday, I had loads actually, of pineapple, and believe it or not, my beautiful and delicious little Ruby, she loves pineapple too. Well, what's really wonderful about pineapple, my delicious little babies, is that it's exceptionally good for the throat. It's a great antioxidant. And pomegranate's exceptionally good for you as well, and the juice and everything. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Yes? So it's all about the balance with the body, getting the right food into your system. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious little babies? Yes? So anyway, so that's all I was saying really, but if more delicious little babies out there were to meditate, and if you're no good at meditating on your own, there may be some little spiritual churches to go to, where you can learn, you know what I mean? They'll train you to teach you to meditate. Do you see what I'm saying? Then, then you can do what I've done for years, which is, to go into any shop and just, say if I need to get into my body, green beans, that's just come to my mind, yes? Say if I need to do that, well, they just direct me where to go and get them. I know it sounds really mad what I'm saying, my delicious babies, but anyway, but there's always method in my madness what I'm saying about different things. It's all about, trying to just... It is difficult sometimes, my delicious little babies, to balance things, because every now and again we all crave a tiny bit of sugar or a bit of something, you know what I mean? But there's an old-fashioned saying, isn't there? A bit of what you fancy does you good. Too much can be a flipping nightmare. Do you see what I'm saying to you, my delicious babes? Anyway, so that's my quick video. So thank you so very much for listening, my delicious little babies, for even taking the time to listen, whoever stumbles across me and my delicious baby little subscribers. How I love you all so. Have a beautiful morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are in the world, okay? Please continue to have a good day. I'm sending you loads of hugs, okay? Lots of love now, sorry. Until my next video. Much love. God bless. Take care. Thank you. Goodbye.